Riley didn't even hear the gunshot. She only saw the soldier crash through the bushes and fall at her feet, blood soaking through his uniform as he gasped. "Kid, if you leave me here I'm dead." He grabbed her wrist with a strength that didn't match his fading eyes. Riley's whole body froze. She was homeless, hungry, and alone in the woods just outside New York, sleeping in abandoned cabins and forgotten trails. But now, she was the only thing standing between this injured soldier and the end of his life. And she had no idea that the man begging her for help was the father she had never met. Riley Hayes was 14, but life had made her feel 40. Her mom had passed away the previous winter, and with no relatives, no money, and no help, she survived by drifting through the city outskirts, living off whatever she could find. She learned how to light fires with rocks, find clean water, and sleep with one eye open. Nothing scared her anymore. At least, that's what she thought. That morning, she wandered deeper into a thick, quiet patch of woods. Most people avoided it, but for Riley, it felt safer than the streets. Then the bushes exploded. A man in a U.S. Army uniform stumbled out, clutching his stomach. His face was pale, sweat dripping down his neck. His uniform was cleaner than she expected, but the blood stains told a different story. He collapsed right in front of her. Riley's heart pounded. She had seen injured people before, but never like this. "I need help," he whispered, trying to drag himself upright. Riley stepped back. I'm just a kid." He shook his head. "Doesn't matter. You're all I've got." Riley's instincts screamed run, but something in the soldier's eyes, fear, pain, and something else she couldn't name, held her still. She forced herself forward. "Okay, stay still." The soldier grimaced. "They were chasing me. I tried to get away. I can't move." His voice was fading. Riley dropped to her knees and ripped open the flap of his uniform. Blood seeped through the fabric, but the wound wasn't as deep as it looked. She exhaled, relieved. The bleeding wasn't unstoppable yet. She had learned first aid from watching survival videos in the library back when she still had a home. Now that knowledge was all she had. She tore the cleanest part of his uniform sleeve and pressed it over the wound, tying it tight enough to keep pressure but loose enough for him to breathe. He winced but didn't complain. "You're good at this," he murmured. Riley shrugged, trying to hide her shaking hands. "Had to learn. Life doesn't really give me many choices." She grabbed her small backpack, pulled out her water bottle, half full, and held it to his lips. He swallowed slowly, eyes never leaving her face. "You remind me of someone," he said quietly. "Who?" she asked, tightening the cloth one more time. "A girl I once promised to come back to." Riley paused. "Your daughter?" He nodded weakly. "But I never got the chance. Is she still out there? I hope she's okay." Something twisted in Riley's chest, but she shook it off. "Okay," she said firmly, standing up. "I'll go get help. Stay awake. If you fall asleep, I swear I'll drag you myself." A tiny smile tugged at his lips. Riley ran. Branches hit her face, thorns scraped her legs, but she didn't stop. The soldier was fading, and if she didn't find help now, he'd be gone before sunset. She burst out of the woods and onto a bike trail used by hikers. She waved frantically at the first person she saw, a man on a bike who skidded to a stop. "Please," she shouted. "There's a soldier down in the woods. He's hurt bad." The man didn't ask questions. He whipped out his phone and called emergency services. Riley bounced on her feet, breathless. "Tell them to hurry." Within minutes, the sound of sirens echoed from the road nearby. Riley led 2 paramedics back into the woods. The soldier was still awake, barely. They lifted him onto a stretcher, hooked him to machines, and carried him toward the waiting ambulance. But something strange happened. Right as they loaded him in, the soldier reached out and grabbed Riley's hand again, this time harder. His eyes widened in shock. "Your eyes," he whispered. "You have her eyes. Emily Hayes." Riley froze. "That was my mother's name," she said slowly. The paramedics paused. The soldier's voice cracked. "Your mother? Emily? Your mother was Emily?" Riley stepped closer. "Yes." His lips trembled. "Emily Hayes was the woman I loved. She was the woman I left behind when I was deployed. And I came back for her, but I was told she'd moved away. No address. No clue." Riley's heartbeat thundered in her ears. "So you're saying?" He choked out the truth. "Riley, I'm your father." Everything inside Riley collapsed. Her father. The man she imagined was either dead or long gone. The man her mother never talked about. The man she blamed for every night she slept on cold pavement. He was lying right there. Bleeding. Fading. Holding her hand like he'd waited 14 years to do it. Riley stumbled back. No. No, you can't be. Why didn't you find us? Why didn't you come? The soldier swallowed painfully. Tried. I searched for years. Your mother, she must have been hiding. Maybe she was scared. Maybe she didn't want me to bring danger into your life. Riley blinked fast. Her mom had been terrified of everything. Always moving. Always hiding. Maybe she wasn't paranoid. Maybe she was protecting Riley from the truth. The soldier whispered, Riley, I never stopped looking. I never stopped hoping. And now you're the one who saved me. He squeezed her hand again. Don't leave me. Riley took a shaky breath. The soldier struggled to stay awake. Riley kept talking to him, pushing him. You're not dying. Not now. Not after I finally found you. You're not allowed. His breathing steadied. The paramedic glanced back. Whatever you're doing, kid, keep doing it. He's fighting harder now. Riley leaned closer. You're going to live. And when you do, we're starting over. I'm done being alone. His eyes softened. I'd like that. More than anything. Hours later, Riley sat in the hospital waiting room, staring at her hands. She wasn't sure if she was supposed to cry, scream, or laugh. A doctor walked out. He made it, she said. He's asking for you. Riley didn't walk, she ran. The soldier sat up in the hospital bed, freshly bandaged, cleaned up, breathing easier. When he saw her, his face broke into a smile that looked like 14 years of missing pieces falling into place. Hey, he whispered. Riley swallowed hard. Hey. He opened his arms. For the first time in her life, Riley ran into a father's embrace. They stayed like that for a long time. He pulled back just enough to look at her. You saved my life, Riley. But more than that, you gave me a reason to fight. To live. To try again. Riley wiped her eyes. We both get to start over now. Together. He nodded. Together. And for the first time since she'd lost her mother, Riley didn't feel homeless. She felt found. Tell us your name and where you are watching from to get a special shout out on our next video tomorrow. Subscribe for more stories.